Good, excuse me, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday. Happy Hour Friday, which also happens to be Halloween. Not a holiday fan myself. My sister put some pictures on Facebook of her plethora of Halloween decorations on a front living room window that has been broken for months. So I guess she probably spent more on decorating the window than it would have been to replace the window. And that the same story continues to go on in the house of dysfunction. Dysfunction and enablement, actually. Is that even a word? Well, it is now. Okay, as for the game today, it's California Angels and Kansas City Athletics. Both teams coming in on losing streaks. The Angels have dropped 2 straight. Kansas City on a 4-game skid. The Angels will start lefty Marcelino Lopez and the youngster Jim Catfish Hunter, the right-hander on the mound for the Athletics. Let's take a look at the chat and see who's all here. Hello, Franklin in Kansas City. Mike, happy Halloween. Hello, Ben. Blaine, hello, Blaine. There's a little get-together at the clubhouse here in the apartment from 2 to 4. If the game ends at a normal time, I might make an appearance. We'll see. What else have I got for you? Games, I will have a game Saturday and Sunday to make up for the fact that there will be no game Monday due to medical appointments. So tomorrow and Sunday we will have a game. I got tied up with some personal things yesterday. I knew I wasn't going to even come close to making it home in time. Thus the postponement. Let's take a look at the starting pitchers today. Lopez, despite the 3-5 record, has pitched very well. 3.05 ERA, 13 starts, 83 innings of work. Doesn't strike out a lot, 46. Catfish Hunter is 4-6, 3.63, 13 starts. He has 3 complete games. 94 1/3 innings, he has 63 strikeouts. And with that, let's go ahead and get you the Angels starting lineup. Jose Cardinal will lead it off in center field. Willie Smith is in left field again. Still no Rick Reichard. Jim Fregosi at short hits third. Norm Sebring will be at first base. Ed Kirkpatrick is in right field. Frank Malzone gets the start at third base. Bobby Knopp at second, and Rogers the catcher. So this is the exact same lineup that the Angels put out there their last game. Lopez, the pitcher, hitting ninth. I could see why you would there. San Francisco thinks the same thing, I think. And there's Frank, better late than never. Frank's game was a close one, very close in fact, so close it took 12 innings for the Angels to squeak out a victory, a save for Lee. Good time to point out that who's hot and who's cold. Last 10 games, Bob Lee, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. So the stopper of the Angel bullpen hasn't been much of a stopper the last 10 games. He might get a chance to see if he can turn that around today. Umpires for the game. That'll be Marty Springstead behind the plate, Ed Runge at first, Red Flaherty down at second, and Al Salerno at third. And that brings us up to date. About ready for first pitch here. Let me scroll my stats up. Hunter ready to go to work. Jose Cardinal will lead it off. Cardinal at 249, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. Hunter with the windup and the pitch on a 4-9 right-handed. He bangs that one into left center, double to 16. That's going to be a 9. That's extra bases for Cardinal, and he's in with a leadoff double. Here's Willie Smith, the left fielder. Smith struggling this season, just 12 for 76, a 158 average. Hunter gets the sign. The pitch is a 4-5 left-handed high fly ball to center. Nosek waiting on it and puts it away. Joe Nosek in center makes the play. And here's Jim Fregosi. Fregosi still leading the Angels in just about every category. A 321 average. 7 home runs, 37 RBIs leads the team. The 7 home runs while not leading the team is the most of anyone in the lineup today, as both Rick Reichart and Jackie Warner are not in the lineup. And hello, Kathy Harden. Hello, Dan Port. We can always count on Dan. His usual costume. First strap purchase. Oh, yeah, okay. You got the 24 and the 20. And start with the basic. I think that's a fantastic idea, Blaine. And welcome to the wonderful world of dice rolling Strat-O-Matic style. Hunter ready to go to Fregosi. Here's the pitch on a 2-11 right-handed. Base hit into right field. Cardinal can try to score on that. He's rounding third, 17. Hirschberger, however, the -4 cannon makes it 13. And with 1 out, they're going to put the brakes on him. Third base coach almost had to tackle Cardinal there. Fregosi, a star 16 stealer at first. Let's take a look at the Kansas City battery. Hunter with a 0 hold. Roof a 0. So Fregosi will be held at 14. And with 1 out, Norm Seaburn is the hitter. Seaburn 247 on the season. 2 homers, 13 RBIs. Fregosi's going to try for the lead. 2 through 5 is 12. He's got a 9. He did not get it. And here's the next pitch to Seaburn. 3-9 right-handed. That's ripped high to right field. That's going to be over Hirschberger's head for extra bases. He gets it back in quickly, holding Fregosi at third, but Cardinal can score easily. And the Angels jump out to a 1-0 lead on the RBI double by Norm Seaburn. So second and third now, still only 1 away, and here's Kirkpatrick. Early in the game, at this point, I'm going to roll it for inner back. And Kansas City will pull it in for Kirkpatrick. Hunter checks the runners. 5-4 left-handed, fly to center field X, that's Nosek, a good outfielder. 2-E-7, Nosek on his horse. Here's the play on a 15. He comes in charging and makes a nice running catch with his momentum coming towards the play. Fregosi has to hold at third. So a beautiful play there by Joe Nosek in center, potentially saving a run. And with 2 down, it will be up to Frank Malzone, also known as Frank Malzone or Frankie the Nose. No, none of those things are true. Yeah, I just made it up. All right, here's Malzone. Hunter checks the runners. Comes to the plate, 2-5. High fly ball to left. Backing up is Gosker. Double to 4, and the play is made by Gosker in left. So Hunter gets out of that pretty cheaply. A run on 3 hits, 2 left on. And after half, it's California 1, Kansas City coming to bat against Marcelino Lopez. Calzone, the Calzone King, yes. We have a Calzone King here in Spokane. His name is Pete. Here's the lineup for Kansas City. Campaneris leading off at shortstop. Gosker, who made that play to end the inning, is in left. Mike Hirschberger in right field with the golden arm. Danny Cater at third base hits fourth. Ken Hawk Harrelson at first base. Dick Green at second base. Joe Nosek is in center. Phil Roof will do the catching and bat eighth. And Hunter, the pitcher, hits ninth. And welcoming in Cosmo Kramer. Hello, Cosmo. Hello, Ernest. And there's Perry. Welcome, Perry. Where's my wizard costume? Are you talking about the Gandalf costume mentioned in the Seaside video? Yeah, that was an inside joke, really, back from my days at Safeway. Campaneris to start things off here. Campy hitting .263, 1 home run, 23 RBIs. Lopez, the lefty, into the windup. The pitch is a 3-7 left-handed. Campy ground ball through the 6th hole and into left field for a leadoff single. When Campaneris gets aboard, always a threat to run. And Marcelino with a +3 hold. Rogers a -2 arm, so a +1 situation. Campaneris 20, held on at 18 as Jim Gosker comes to bat. Gosker just 2 for 15 since joining Kansas City. Campy rolling for the lead. 2 through 6 are 12, and 8 he does not get it. Left on left, Gosker squares to bunt. He's going to lay it down as a B on an 8. Bunts it to first and advances the runner. So Gosker, in an unfavorable matchup, elects to sacrifice. That puts Campy at second with 1 away, and here's Hirschberger. Welcome, Larry Waters. Happy hour. Hirschberger hitting .256, 1 homer, 22 RBIs. Lopez checks the runner and comes to the plate. .212 lefty, hard smash to third. That's going to be Malzone, who looks the runner back and throws him out. 2 down. It'll be up to Danny Cater. The right-handed hitting third baseman, hitting just .231. Excuse me, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs for Cater. It's a 1-7 left-handed high fly ball to left, playable for Smith, and that'll do it. So Kansas City with no runs, a hit, 1 left, and the Angels have a 1-0 lead after 1. A Ferengi, I know what that is. Yeah, Gandalf's store in Seaside, Oregon. I've never been in it, actually, but it looks kind of cool from the outside. Maybe one of these days. Here's Knopp to lead off the second. Knopp hitting .228, 4 homers, 25 RBIs. Hunter gets the sign from Rue. First lined up, and the pitch is a 1-7. Struck him out. First strikeout of the game. And here's Buck Rogers, the switch-hitting catcher. He'll bat left-handed against Hunter. Rogers hitting .211, 3 homers, 18 RBIs. The pitch from Hunter is a 5-7 left-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Hunter looking like a different pitcher here in the second inning. Strikes out the first 2, and here's Lopez. Lopez throws left, but bats right. 3-8 struck him, 3-6 results the same. He struck him out, and Catfish Hunter strikes out the side in the second inning. Whoa. That's a terrible 0. Lopez taking the mound. Hawk Harrelson will lead it off in the bottom of the second. Harrelson batting .244, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. I don't get any anymore, Larry. I was talking to a woman in the supermarket line last week. She says they're all going to these church tailgaters, basically, or everybody backs their car in a circle and trick or treat out of their trunks. Makes sense, but it kind of makes me long for the old days, too. I do have some candy on hand, just in case. Lopez facing Harrelson now. The windup and the pitch on a 6-5 right-handed is a grounder to short X. Fregosi into the hole. Fregosi a 2E36 on an 8 error range. It's an 8 on a 36. This could be trouble. Fregosi's throw pulls Seaburn off the bag, and that will be an error on Fregosi. E6, first error of the game. Harrelson with good speed. Again, 20 held at 18. He's going to roll for it. He needs 4 or 5. Does not get it. And Dick Green is the batter. Green, the team's RBI leader. Where is Green? Still leads, doesn't he? Yep, 34 RBIs, 257, 3 home runs. That's right, Dan, yeah. Toothbrushes or raisins? I'm sure we all can remember that. The disappointment of getting raisins. I sure do. Hello, Bill Ivemy. Boy, he's a mess, isn't he? Whoever decided to name that size Fun Size, I don't know what they were thinking there. Runner at first, here's the pitch to Green. Lopez out of the stretch with the 2-7. He bangs that one into right field. They're going to wave Harrelson to third, and Kansas City in business here with runners at the corners and nobody out. Green, not held at 19. He'd have to roll a 4 to get the lead. Yeah, I hate both those things now, but I actually liked them when I was a kid. Let's see how the Angels are going to play this. With a 1-0 lead early, they're going to be back, hoping to get a double play grounder out of Nosek. Lopez out of the stretch, 5-4 right-handed fly ball center field X. That's a tough chance for Cardinal. Cardinal on his horse, 2E3, fine center fielder. On a 4, he makes a running, diving play in center field to take extra base hit away from Nosek. On the play, Harrelson tags up and scores, but wow, what a play by Cardinal. That's going to be a web gem, despite the fact that a run scored, and the game is tied. Boy, in my neighborhood growing up, there was one lady who made the homemade popcorn balls. They were magnificent. And there was another one, my favorite, and I used to save this one till the end of the night deliberately. Hot apple cider with a cinnamon stick. Okay, some of the mistakes weren't cheap even then. I forgot about that, Dan. Yeah, there was usually we'd go up to the senior apartments at the top of the hill. That was where oftentimes you'd get a coin. We used to throw the apples at each other. Oh man, you guys are... Thank you for that trip down memory lane. Here's Phil Roof, the catcher. 247 on the year, a homer, 10 RBIs. 6'8" right-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3, that's correct. Strikeout for Lopez, 2 down, and here's Hunter. Hunter, a right-handed hitter. The pitch on a 2-9 left-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Lopez gets out of the jam by fanning Roof and Hunter. Kansas City ties it on a run. That will be unearned as far as Lopez is concerned. And after 2, it's 1-1. Or maybe until the point where it got a little colder. And you just, you knew when it was time to go to the cider house. And they had no rules. Couldn't resist that one. Okay, here's Catfish in the 3rd. Cardinal lead it off. He doubled and scored his first time up. Hunter's pitch on a 6-6 righty. He pops him up on the left side. Campaneris will take it, and there's 1 away. Here's Willie Smith now. Hunter with the lined up end the pitch. It's a 4-9 left-handed. Smith launches a hard line drive into right field. That's going to be over Hirschberger's head for extra bases, and Willie Smith cruises in with a 1-out double. Wouldn't I have looked silly there if a 19 or 20 came up? Here's Fregosi. He singled his first time up. Well, Frank, knowing you, I'm surprised you didn't just punch him in the face. Or at least make sure that he did the same to you. Here's Fregosi. He singled his first time up. Hunter, the pitch, 4-9 right-handed. That's going to drive in a run. Double to 16. That is a double. Back-to-back doubles, and the Angels retake the lead, 2-1. Fregosi picks up an RBI, and Norm Seaburn is the batter. Seaburn doubled in a run in the first. Hunter's pitch is a 1-5 right-handed, base hit right field. Fregosi rounding 15. Hirschberger's -4 gun makes it 11, and they're going to stop him at third. Seaburn extremely slow at first base. Fregosi good speed at third. With 1 away, let's see how Kansas City's going to play it as Ed Kirkpatrick steps to the plate. Kirkpatrick does not hit into a lot of double plays. We're going to pull the infield in for Kirkpatrick. Hunter, a glance at the runners. Now from the stretch. Comes in there with a 5-7 left-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Huge strikeout there for Catfish, his 4th of the day. And with 2 down, it'll be up to Frank Malzone. Hunter's pitch to Malzone is a 4-6 right-handed, and he walks him to load the bases. Oh my. So Hunter in a bind here now. There are 2 away, bases loaded, and Bobby Knopp at bat. Bobby Knopp struck out his first time up. Hunter looking for a repeat performance as he goes into the full windup. Pitch to Knopp on a 110 righty. Ripped into left center. That could be a double to 3. In any case, 2 runs will score on a double by Bobby Knopp. Stopping at third is Malzone. So Fregosi scores, Seaburn scores, and the Angels take a 4-1 lead. Hunter on the ropes here, and they're going to hold up 4 wide ones for Bob Rogers. So a rare intentional walk with first base open. They'll face the pitcher, Lopez, with 2 down. Lopez hitting right-handed. Hunter's pitch on a 5-9 right-handed. That is going to be a base hit to 9, double anything else. Here's Lopez, right-handed batter, with a single, 2 stars. Lopez drives in a pair. Malzone and Knopp scoring. Rogers stops at third. And the Angels have blown it open on a 2-run double by Marcelino Lopez. Holy cow. And the Angels bat around in the 6th. Action already in the Kansas City pen. Guido Grilli, he pitched in this game in real life. We're going to get Grilli up. There's the new and improved Vern Hanrahan card. I know you're all very excited to see that. In super advanced, Hunter would be gone. I'm going to give him one more hitter. There's the pitch to Cardinal. It's a 2-11. High fly ball to deep left field. Oh my goodness. Gosker back, and he makes the catch at the wall to save a grand slam home run. How about that? Let's take a look at it. Homer to 17, which would have been a slam. Instead, it's just a loud out to left, and the side is retired. I'm going to split that box so I don't have to make another column. Holy cow, is that huge. May not matter anyway, but that would have certainly put the game away. The Angels score 5 runs on 5 hits, leave the bases full, and lead it 6-1. I second what Bill said. If anybody does show up, they're getting a handful of candy. I've got 2 bags. Okay, 6-1 Angels, bottom of the 3rd. Let's see if Kansas City can make this a game. Top of the order, Bert Campaneris leading it off. Lopez into the windup. That's a 1-6 left-handed fly ball to straightaway center. Back goes Cardinal and makes the catch. Here's the left-handed hitting Gosker now. The pitch from Lopez. 5'11 lefty. Gosker, a hard ground ball up the middle and through into center field. Just the 3rd Kansas City hit of the day. They're all singles. He would be +2, no, +2 minus, +3 minus 2, +1, 14. We're not going to hold him. He's not a star stealer, and he's automatically out on an 11. Hirschberger will swing away. From the stretch, the pitch to Hirschberger is a 4-11, and he loses in ball 4. Well, first and second one out. And here's the cleanup man, Danny Cater. Cater flew to left in the first inning. Lopez gets his sign from Rogers. The windup and the pitch on a 2-11. Foul ball left side. Over to get it is Malzone, and he puts it away for the second out. Here's Hawk Harrelson, reached on an error and scored the only Kansas City run so far. Lopez's pitch is a 4-9 right-handed. That's going to drive in a run. Double to 6. That is a 2-star single. Gosker scoring. Stopping at third is Hirschberger, and it's 6-2. Harrelson 19, held at 17. Dick Green will swing away, the team RBI leader, waiting on the pitch. Lopez comes in with a 6-7, grounder second base X. That's the Gold Glover Knopp, 117. This should do it. On a 2. Diving stop by Knopp to his feet and throws him out. Oh my goodness. Takes a hit and a run away from Green on an incredible play at second base. That's definitely going to be a web gem, and that ends the inning. Athletics settle for a run on 2 hits. After 3, it's 6-2 Angels. Hang on a second, I gotta turn this heater down. Okay. We go to the 4th. Hunter been very wobbly today. Let's count him up here. 3, 4, 5, 6. He's given up 8 hits already. For years at my old apartment, I was known as the Coke guy. I handed out 12-ounce cans of Coca-Cola. I kind of borrowed that from the cider lady, to be honest. But in the 2 years I've been here, this will be my 3rd Halloween in this apartment, I've not had one knock at the door. Which I think is weird, because there's like 212 units here. If I was a kid living here, to me that would be easy pickings. But they just don't do it that way anymore. Willie Smith. Well, the cans part should have given it away, but yeah. Smith 1 for 2. Hunter, let's see how he does in the 4th. Pitch to Smith on a 6-7 lefty. Grounder to second base X. That's Green. 2E19 to his left. Play is on a 17. He's there and flips it over to Harrelson, 1 down. Nice play, Green at second. Here's Fregosi. You know, I think I have a decoration somewhere. That might be it. Fragosi's 2 for 2. Hunter with the pitch on a 1-4 right-handed. He pops it up left side. Campanero's making the play. 2 quick outs for Hunter. So it's been 1 bad, 1 good inning for Hunter so far. And with 2 out, here's Seaburn, who's 2 for 2. And here's Hunter's windup, and here's the pitch to Norm Seaburn on a 4-6 left-handed. He loses in ball 4. 2-out walk. Third walk issued by Hunter. One of them was intentional, and that brings up Ed Kirkpatrick. Hunter from the stretch, 3-9 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep right field. Hirschberger back at the track, at the wall, and makes the catch at the wall. So Hunter's dodged 2 long balls so far and still trails 6-2. I'm going to make a note of those, in fact, even. I normally don't do that, but there you go. Homer to 17 and a homer to 10. For what purpose I make a note of it, I do not know. It'll never show up in the computer stats. Yeah, what did I have? Never did eggs for that reason, yeah, and my dad he warned me pretty clearly about that. If I find out you threw an egg, I'll fill in the rest. Here's Nosek. Marcelino Lopez ready to work the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a 6-10 right-handed. A routine grounder to short. Fergosi scoops it up and throws him out. With 1 away, Phil Roof will be the hitter. Right, Ernest? I was wondering if there was anybody here other than me for the Dodgers. Well, I think Dan Port is. Bill risking his life up there. Marcelino to Roof. Here's the windup and the pitch on a 3-6. Fly ball to center field. That's an easy play for Cardinal, and quickly there's 2 down in the 4th. Here's Hunter. Should they hit for Hunter this early? Hell, it's 1966. He bats. 3-6, grounder to short. Fergosi to Seaburn, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Lopez. Yeah, well, so exactly. Toilet paper, candy, whatever. It's all expensive now. So Dan's off the Dodgers. I thought you were an LA guy, Dan. I was mistaken. Oh, gotcha. That doesn't always... my good friend who's a Yankee fan is for the Blue Jays, so you never know. 5th inning, here's Malzone. 0 for 1 with a walk. Hunter into the windup. It's a 5-8 right-handed. Grounder to short, fielded by Campaneris. The throw to Harrelson in time. And here's Knopp. 1 for 2 with a 2-run double. Hunter's pitch is a 4-6 right-handed, and he walks him. Catfish Hunter may be getting near the end of the line here in this one. Here's the catcher, Rogers. Struck out in the 2nd, was walked intentionally in the 3rd. Hunter's pitch to the left-hander. 3-10 righty. That's going to be extra bases. That's over Hirschberger's head and right. Triple to 6. That's going to be a double. Knopp can try to score on that. Hirschberger with that -4 gun, however, makes him a 1-9, and they're going to hold him. That's at least 3 times now that Hirschberger's arm has come into play. Here's the pitcher, Lopez. Lopez, a B bunter. as Kansas City brings the infield in. Grilly ready in the pen. There's the pitch from Hunter. It's a 6-8 right-handed. Grounder to third B. They're going to get the lead guy at the plate with the infield in. So that's going to go 5-2 force. Rogers to third, and there's 2 down. Hunter hanging on by a thread as Jose Cardinal comes up. Runners at the corners, 2 away. Here's the pitch to Jose. It is a 5-8 right-handed grounder to short. Campy has it. Throws to Harrelson in time. So Hunter works his way out of that jam. We're halfway through, 6-2 Angels. All right. Top of the order for Kansas City. They trail by 4. Campaneris will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Lopez pitch to Campy. That's a 3-7. Left-handed. That's a base hit into left field. Campy 2 for 3. With the +1, he's a 20 held at 18. He's going to roll for it. 2 through 6 or 12. 6, he's got it. There he goes, 1 to 18. Rogers throw down. He's stolen it on a 3. That's a possible overthrow. Rogers is a 1 through 6 overthrow, and he does not overthrow. So stolen base for Campaneris. Let's look that up. For Campaneris, that's his 20th stolen bases of the year. He's only been caught 4 times. And here's the next pitch to Gosker. Left-on-left matchup on a 4-12. It's a grounder to first base X. Tough chance for Seaburn, a 4-E-10. Here's the play. It's a 3. He's not going to get that. It's a single, 2 stars. And that's going to drive in Campaneris. Gosker with his second hit of the day, an RBI single. That makes it 6-3 now. Gosker, 14. He'll be held on at 12. The batter will be Hirschberger. Hirschberger 0 for 1 with a walk. Activity in the Angels bullpen. Nobody's throwing yet, but they're moving around down there as Lopez from the stretch comes into Hirschberger, 6'11" righty. It's a high fly ball to left. Willie Smith camped under it now and makes the catch for the first out. 6-3, bottom of the 5th. Here's Danny Cater. Cater 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. 3-8 lefty. Fly ball to center. Cardinal backs up a few steps and puts it away. Runner at first, 2 down. It'll be up to Harrelson. Pitch to Harrelson's a 3-6 lefty. He bangs that one to right for a base hit. They're waving Gosker to third. He'll be in there. And it's runners at the corners and 2 down with Dick Green coming to the plate. Green, the team's RBI leader, represents the tying run at the plate. Right. Jack Sanford, the right-hander in the Angel bullpen, beginning to throw. Grilly is ready in the Kansas City pen. And he's joined now by Jim Nash. Here's Green. 2 down, runners at the corners. The pitch from Lopez. 1-7 left-handed. That could be extra bases. Ripped into the gap in left center. Double to 13. That's going to be a double for Green, and it's a 6-4 ball game. Gosker in to score. Harrelson stops at third. Give Green an RBI with 2 runs here in the 5th. It's a 6-4 game. Lopez rated 6 for endurance, so that's not an issue, but Rogers will pay a visit to the mound. Okay, Frank, you do not know that for a fact, so I'm just going to ask you to please stop. Here's Nosek, 0 for 2. This could be Lopez's last batter. The pitch to Nosek on a 2-5 lefty. High fly ball to left. Smith, routine play, and that will end the inning. But Kansas City comes up with 2 runs on 4 hits and leaves 2 runners in scoring position. After 5 complete, it's a 6-4 ball game. We got ourselves a game now as we go to the 6th. Hunter somehow still on the mound. World's Worst is here. Hello. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee, and then we'll go to the 6th. Willie Smith will start it off. Hunter gets the side. The wind up, the pitch is a 1-8 right-handed. Struck him out. Pretty much batter by batter for Hunter now that Kansas City's climbed back into this one. Right, left, left, right. Jim Fregosi 2 for 3. Hunter into the windup. 2-7 righty. Struck him out right in the heart of his good column. Hunter's already struck out the side once in this game. That was back in the 2nd inning. That's 6 strikeouts now for Hunter, and the batter will be Seaburn. Here's the pitch on a 2-3 righty. Routine grounder to first. Harrelson will take it himself. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Catfish Hunter. His last inning of work for sure. So Hunter didn't have his good stuff today, but he battled and went 6. He'll be pinch hit for in the bottom of the inning. He allowed 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits and 6 runs. So it wasn't pretty, but somehow he got in 6 innings. He walked 3, one of them intentionally, and struck out 6. Left, right, right coming up. They're going to go to Nash. Here comes Kansas City. It'll be Roof, a pinch hitter, and Campaneris. Lopez in his first endurance inning. Roof 0 for 2. Lopez into the windup. It's a 3-10 left-handed ground ball to second base, fielded there by Knopp, who throws him out, and there's one away. Now batting for Kansas City against the left-hander. A lot of lefties on the bench. It's going to have to be Ozzie Chavarria off the bench. Chavarria, let's see what he's done this year. He's played pretty well in limited duty, 269 and just 67 at bats, 1 homer, 7 RBIs. The pitch to Ozzie is a 4-7 right-handed. That is a line drive to short, single at 12. That's going to be a base hit for Chavarria. So Chavarria comes through off the bench. He's a star 15, so he's 16 held at 14, and Campaneris the hitter. This is interesting. Rigney would like Lopez to face Gosker. Nope, here he comes. That's going to do it right now. He raises the right hand, and that means that Jack Sanford's coming on to pitch. So Lopez exits after 5 1/3 today. He gave up 8 hits, 4 runs so far, 3 earned runs. Runner at first is his responsibility, and in comes Sanford. Sanford a better hold, so with the -2 arm of Rogers now, that makes Chavarria not held at 13, and Campy waiting at the plate. Campy 2 for 3 with a stolen base. Sanford ready to work from the stretch on a 6-6 right hand. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Triple on a 1. And look at that. Oh my goodness. It gets into the corner. Campy rounding, headed for third. They're waving Chavarria home, and it's going to be a triple for Campy Campaneris. The score is 6-5, and the tying run 90 feet away with 1 out. Man, that was exciting. The Angels will pull in the infield for Gosker. He's a B bunter. I just got a week of free Amazon Prime. Cool. Gosker 2 for 2 with a sac bunt. Infield in. The pitch from Sanford. 3-6 right-handed. He pops him up on the left side. That's going to be Malzone making the play. 2 away. It'll be up to Hirschberger. Campy dancing off the bag. The pitch to Hirschberger's a 3-8. That's going to tie the game. That's over Smith's head and left. Triple to 6. That's going to be a game-tying double for Hirschberger. And what do you know about that? So what looked like a blowout after 2.5 is a tie ball game in the 6th. Danny Cater will be the hitter. Isn't that the one that has a lot of the old movies too? I mean, like old black and white stuff. Cater's 0 for 3. Sanford stares in to get the sign. Here's the pitch on a 3-8 righty. Base hit into right field. That's going to drive in Hirschberger, and the Athletics take the lead. Holy cow. They've plated 3 here in the 6th and lead it 7-6. So Sanford unable to stop the bleeding, and now here's Hawk Harrelson. He's been on all 3 times, 2 hits and reached on an error. Out to the mound is Rogers. Sanford nodding. And Rogers back behind the dish. Here's the pitch from Sanford to Harrelson. It's a 1-9 righty. He struck him out. That'll do it in the sixth, but we've got an exciting game now as Kansas City on 3 runs on 4 hits rather, takes the lead and now leads it 7-6 through 6 innings of play. Left, right, right. Yep, Nash is the pitcher. We already said that. So Jim Nash will come on for Kansas City. Hunter, right now the pitcher of record. He stands to win it. And he pitched horribly. If they can hold the lead, that is. Wow, what a game. Okay, a lot of game left here as we go to the 7th. Mookie up in the cheap seats looking on. Then Kirkpatrick will start it off. He's 0 for 3. Nash on the season has pitched very well. 1-0, 1.71. This is his 13th appearance. He has worked 26 innings. The right-hander into the windup. The pitch to Kirkpatrick on a 6-3 lefty. He walks him. Not what you want to do when you just took the lead. Walk the leadoff man. Kirkpatrick, a star 15 stealer. Nash with a -2, Roof is 0. So that makes Kirkpatrick a 13. Kansas City not all that confident he won't try it. So they're going to hold him at 11. That'll bring up the third baseman, Frank Malzone. Nash ready to go to work from the stretch. Pitch to Malzone on a 5-10 right-handed. It's a grounder, third base X. Tough chance for Cater. He's a 421. Here's the play. On an 11, it's the E-range. 6 on a 21. That's off of his glove. Cater boots it. And the first 2 Angels reach. E5. Kirkpatrick to second. The first error for Athletics. And Nash now in trouble here. Tying run in scoring position. Go ahead and run at first. And here's Bobby Knopp. Struck out in the second. Doubled into in the third and walked in the fifth. Pitch to Knopp is a 3-7. Fly ball to center. That's playable for Nosek. Runners will hold as Nosek makes the catch. Here's Rogers. Struck out in the second. Intentionally walked in the third and doubled in the fifth. First and second, 1 down. Batting lefty against Nash. Here comes the pitch. 5-6, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Big strikeout by Jim Nash. And now the Angels are going to have to hit for Sanford. Sanford goes just 2/3. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. No walks and a strikeout, so we can finish off Lopez now. He allows 5 runs, 4 earned. Walked only 1. Struck out 2. Just 2. Pinch hitting for California. First and second, 2 away. They're going to go to Reichart. Reichart, the team home run leader with 15, 35 RBIs, and a 304 average on the season. Hasn't been able to start lately due to a minor injury, but he's still available to pinch hit. Runners take their lead. The pitch to Rick Reichart, 6'6" righty, grounder to third, single to 9. It's knocked down, but he has no play. That's an infield single. That's going to load him up for Cardinal. So Kirkpatrick stops at third. Rick Reichart comes through off the bench with a pinch hit single, and here's Cardinal. Holy cow. Paul Lindblad warming up in the Kansas City pen. Bases loaded, 2 out. Kansas City leads by a run. Cardinal at the plate. Here's the pitch from Nash. 1-8 right-handed comebacker. Nash takes it, throws home for the force, and that's it. Wow, Nash pitches out of quite a jam there, and Kansas City manages to hold the lead as we go to the stretch. No runs, 1 hit. There was a walk and an error. They leave the bases loaded in the 7th, so a huge chance slips by the Angels. And as we go to the stretch, it's Athletics 7, Angels 6. We'll need a new pitcher for California. And with all righties coming up, it's going to be Lou Burdette. Time for some spooky mookie. Yeah, I wish he was a little more animated today. I found this by my feet, though. That got his attention. Okay, I think we're back. Hang on. We are. How about that? Honestly, I didn't do anything. I think Mookie did it. Let's see if we lost half our chat here. Oh, we lost a lot of people. Some are coming back in. Picture is a little off. Okay, now it looks good on my end. Try refreshing, Ben. See what you got. Poltergeist, yes. Where are we? We're in the bottom of the 7th. Athletics up by a run. They're going to send Green, Nosek, and Roof up against Lou Burdette. Burdette on the year, 3-1, 3.15. Right-handed pitcher. Green 2 for 3 on the day. Here comes the pitch. Oh, now they do look a bit blurry. Let's see if I can do something to try to clean that up. It's possible that I touched the lenses while I was trying to revive it. Okay, I cleaned the lens. That's about really all I can do on this end. But yeah, it is weird. I'm going to say this is either a YouTube or a Streamlabs issue. That's kind of disappointing in a tight game, but you know what? We'll plow ahead. Here's Green to lead it off. Burdette with the pitch on a 4-12 righty. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Burdette a 4-36. This could be trouble. There's the play on a 15. Error range. It's a 9 on a 36, and that will be an error on Lou Burdette. So an E1 to start it off. Green 17, -3 batteries, not a star stealer. Nosek will swing away. Burdette out of the stretch. It's a 3-7 righty. Fly ball to center. Can of corn for Jose Cardinal. He makes the easy catch, and there's one away. Here's the catcher now, Phil Roof. He's 0 for 3. Burdette. 2-7 righty, fly ball to center, Cardinal to his right, and makes the catch. Decision time. They're going to hit for Nash. Let's see if we're going to go to Lindblad or Aker. It's going to be one of the two. It'll be Lindblad, but Aker's ready as well. And the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first will be none other than Larry Stahl. Stahl on the season, 280, 4 homers, 18 RBIs. Burdette pitched to Stahl on a 2-8 right-handed. He pops him up right side, right in the heart of his best column. Seaburn waiting on it, and that'll do it. So Stahl retired, no runs, no hits, a man left, and we go to the 8th, 7-6 Kansas City. Coming on to pitch will be Paul Lindblad. Lindblad, the left-hander. Nash goes 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Lindblad on the season has been fantastic. 6-0 with a save, 2.55. Willie Smith due to bat. It probably won't be Willie. Jimmy Pearsall is going to hit for Willie Smith. Pearsall would stay in the game in left. Pearsall, a right-hander, on the season, 21 for 62. That's a 339 average. Lindblad gets the sign from Roos. Here's the pitch to Pearsall. It's a 4-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Pearsall. And here's Jim Fregosi. Thank you for joining us, Dan. Same to you, buddy. Same to you. I plan to keep it low-key. Lindblad's pitch to Fregosi. That's going to be a 5-4 right-handed. Fly to center field X. Nosek on his horse. 2E7. Here's the play. On a 16, he makes a fine running catch. Man, he had to go back a ways to get that one. And now with 2 down, the Angels will hit for Seaburn. And you know who this is going to be. looking for a blast here. They're going to bring in Joe Adcock, and that's going to send Alvin Dark out to the mound, and he's waving the right hand to go to Jack Aker. So the chess moves are on here in the 8th. Two-thirds for Lindblad. Aker 1 and 4, 13 saves, 3.54. Adcock has 7 home runs on the season, hitting .292. Aker into the windup. The pitch to Adcock on a 1-11 struck him out. One, two, three, go the Angels in the 8th. Adcock will stay in at first base where he's a 4.85. Right, left, right, due up. Burdette will come out for his 2nd inning of work. Top of the order for Kansas City. Campy's 3 for 4 today. Burdette gets his sign. The windup, the pitch, 6-7 right-hander to the grounder to second base X. That's Knopp. The sure-handed Knopp, 117 to his left on an 18. He makes it look easy and throws him out. Nice play, Bobby Knopp. Here's Gosker now. Gosker 2 for 3 today. Burdette into the windup. 5'11 lefty, and he goes the other way with it and shoots that through the 6 hole into left field for a base hit. 3rd hit of the day for Gosker. -3 battery now, no threat to run. And here's Hirschberger, 1 for 3 with a walk. Burdette working out of the stretch. Here's the pitch to Hirschberger. 6'3 righty. Fly to left field X. Tough chance for Pearsall. Much better defensively than Willie Smith, however. He's a 2E9 on his horse on a 14. He makes a nice play for the out. And there would have been a single off of Willie Smith. So the pinch-hitting defensive replacement works out for the Angels, and it'll be up to Danny Cater. Burdette gets his sign. A pitch to Cater on a 4-3 right-handed. Grounder to third base X. Tough chance for Malzone. He's a 337. Here's the play on a 16. He makes the play, and that's the inning. Nice play by Malzone to end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We go to the 9th. Let's check defense for Kansas City now. Outfield's good. Cater's the problem, isn't he? Okay, Cater's going to be replaced by Ed Charles at third base. Ed Charles comes on for defense. He's a 318. And Jack Aker, searching for his 14th save, takes the mound for the 9th. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Unfortunate incident there with Frank. I just don't see any reason to try to cause any panic. I really don't think that they would allow that to happen for exactly the reason he stated. And that's as political as I'm going to get. So we go to the 9th. Last chance for the Angels. Kirkpatrick, Malzone, and Knopp do. Kirkpatrick, 0 for 3 with a walk. Aker with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 6-4 left-hander. It's a fly to center field X. That's Nosek again. He's been outstanding there today with a 2-E7. On his horse now, on a 7. He makes a fine running catch for the first out. Excellent display of fielding today by Joe Nosek in center. And here's Malzone now. Let's check the Angel bench. See if they have a left-handed hitter. They do. You assume Knopp and Rogers are going to hit. So here's where they're going to play their hand. And Jay Johnstone is going to pinch hit for Malzone. The prankster grabs the bat and steps up to the plate, a left-handed hitter. Johnstone is 6 for 18 on the year, almost entirely as a pinch hitter, a 333 average. Aker with the pitch. That's going to be a 110 righty, and that's ripped over the first base bag and down into the corner. Johnstone rounds first and heads into second, and it's a one-out double for Johnstone. So Jay Johnstone comes through off the bench, and now the tying run is in scoring position for Bobby Knopp. Holy cow. One away. Bobby Knopp at the plate. Johnstone, pretty good speed at second. Bobby, 2 for 4. On deck, Buck Rogers. Aker gets the sign. Here comes the pitch to Knopp. It's a 5'10 right-hander. He pops him up left side. That's going to be handled by Charles. Once again, you come into the game and the ball will find you. And the Angels are down to their last out. 7-6 Athletics, top of the ninth, 2 down, tying run in scoring position, and here's Bob Rogers. Struck out in the second, was walked intentionally in the third, doubled in the fifth, and whiffed in the seventh. A switch hitter hitting left-handed against Aker. They could put him on, but they would most likely see Jackie Warner off the bench. They'll pitch to Rogers. Aker's pitch on a 5-12 left-handed is a grounder to first base X. Tough chance for Harrelson, 4-18. Hold your breath on this one. Harrelson makes the play, and that's the ball game. We're going to score that 3-1X. Holy cow. I would have bet money right there that Harrelson was going to muff it. But he makes the play. The Athletics hold on to win 7-6 in a very exciting ball game. Remember, they trailed 6-1 at one point. Wow, 10 doubles in the game. Thank you, Franklin. So it was 6-2, 6-4. So Sanford is the loser. Let's check him. He's 2-4 now. Burdette worked 2 innings, 2 scoreless, 1 hit, no walks, no strikeouts. And Hunter, they did hold on. How about that? Catfish Hunter somehow walks away with this with a win. He's 5-6 now. Aker picks up his 14th save. I think that leads the league. 1 1/3 for Aker. He made it interesting. He gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Lindblad and his 2/3, nothing across, 1 strikeout. Player of the game. Holy cow. What do you guys think? Thank you, everybody. That was a good one. While we're thinking about player of the game, could be Aker with the save. Who was the big player in the sixth? Campy with the 3 hits and the triple. Another possibility. I kind of like Campy too. Didn't he score the tying run? Drove in a run and then scored the tying run with the triple. 3 hits on the day and a stolen base. Tomorrow, once again, I will have games Saturday and Sunday, but no game on Monday due to a couple of doctor appointments, just routine stuff. Tomorrow it's going to be a classic. It's the Giants at the Dodgers. Gaylord Perry will take on Don Sutton. And that's going to be at 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. I'm going to give the player of the game to Campaneris with a shout out to Hirschberger and Jack Aker. That was a big boy save for Aker. Athletics win it with 7 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. Angels 6 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. One of which led to a run, so it was a big one. Who made that error? That was Fregosi. Holy cow, yeah, that was exciting. And kind of unexpected. But then, as I like to say, that's why we roll the dice. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. Appreciate it. Sorry about the technical crap and all that, but I'm going to get some lunch. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for Giants at Dodgers. Until then, enjoy the World Series and have a great evening, everybody. Bye for now.